Hi, I'm Dave Rudden. How's my hair? Still ginger? Cool. In my first novel, I created the Knights of the Borrowed Dark, a secret organisation who train from the age of 13 to wield a power that comes with a terrible cost. The more they use it, the more it turns them to iron. I wanted to look at the reality of being a hero, the cost of being a hero, because nothing comes for free, not magic, not bravery, not survival. In my second novel, The Forever Court, I wanted to look at the idea of chosen ones, because that to me is like a really scary concept. I have never been certain of anything in my life, and anyone I've ever met who has been certain, who has felt chosen, have generally turned out to be villains. For book 2, I invented the Croits, a family of fanatics who believe that their gifts make them chosen, that their curse is a calling, and then I gave them a monster for a god. This is the 13th birthday of Uriel and Ambril Croit. Slowly, carefully, they entered the castle. The impact against the valley floor had violently reordered the fortress, like a body dropped from a height. Once wide hallways had been forced into new shapes. Chambers had collapsed while others opened, floors turned to ceilings, ceilings turned to floors. And everywhere, the wires, taut and gleaming, crisscrossing every path, dividing the gloom into strict geometric shapes. Some were blunt braids, others were pin-thin and razor-sharp. It had been their black embrace that had held the castle together on its semi-fatal plunge, the way ivy bound a wall even as it strangled it. And despite the centuries, not a single one had slackened or sagged. Specks of dust peppered the air. Some drifted against the wires and cut themselves in half. Down and down the three Croits went, through the departed glory of the Hall of Receiving, between the splintered pillars of the Majesty Seat. Eloquence twisted the sound of their steps into overlapping echoes until it was an effort to separate their own footsteps from the multitude of ghostly feet trailing them. Their final descent was completed in darkness so total that Uriel's eyes felt that they had been filled with oil, but he and Ambril had practiced this walk. Slipping between the unseen wires felt as natural as breathing, an arm crooked here, a leg angled there. Once, though, Uriel felt a brush on his cheekbone and knew that he had lost a layer of skin. But that was only right. No one had descended without shedding blood since grandfather was a boy. There was always a price to pay. Finally, the feel of the air changed. Uriel could sense space around him where before there had been the close press of wire and stone. The shrine. Ambril was beside him, grandfather somewhere ahead and above her, suspended, silent, gigantic. There wasn't a single photon of light in the chamber for Uriel to see by, but he felt her presence all the same, displacing the darkness with her grandeur. His eyes ached trying to pierce the gloom, but nothing of her shape was given to him, as is proper. They would see her when they were favoured. If they were favoured. For a moment, Uriel felt a decidedly un-Croit-like thrill of fear. "Kneel," grandfather commanded. The twins did so. "Long ago," grandfather intoned, "we were given a duty, a calling. And now here you kneel, where the first of us knelt, ready to know whether that calling will be yours. Whether you are favoured, whether you are Croits. The Redemptress looks upon you, and if you are worthy, the world will tremble with the fire she bestows. Our forefather told us that she will return." Grandfather's voice was full of dark promise. "She will lead us in the war that will come. The adversary will appear, and we will smite him down, and in return..." Sweat was rising on Uriel's cheeks. A feeling that was at once part of him and something distant squeezed his head in a vice of pain. He pressed his palms flat against the stone floor to steady himself and felt Ambril's little finger touch his own, barely. "What if we're not?" A worse thought came. What if Ambril is, and I'm not? No. He refused to even entertain the thought. They had lived their whole lives a half-second apart. There could be no division now. Uriel's heart was hammering so loudly it felt like the whole chamber shook. Grandfather was still speaking, but for the first time in his life, Uriel didn't listen. Agony was striping the blackness in his head. His breath came shallow and shaky, and as Ambril's finger trembled against his, Uriel wanted to shout with relief. It was starting, and it felt like destiny. Light spilled from Uriel, rich and gold as honey, hot and searing as a star, as two stars. His twin sister's hair rose as crackling fire, the air twisting with unbearable heat. It cried for release, but Uriel tamed it, as a Croit was meant to do. Because they were special. The darkness around them had fled. No, not just fled, it was no longer there. I will never fear darkness again, Uriel thought, blood dripping down his skinned cheek. Grandfather was revealed before them, grim and towering. However, as tall as the old man was, he was dwarfed by what loomed behind. Its rictus grin, its gaps and gleams. The glory of her, Uriel thought. The terror. Their redemptress. Grandfather favoured the twins with a rare, triumphant smile. Happy birthday. Thank you.